think we switched to
Yeah.
Nintendo, huh, Mike?
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, what's kind of cool is JoyCons.
JoyCons. True. Another handheld device. The Switch. This article actually comes from ARS Technica. Nintendo is actually promising unlimited repairs for drifting Joy-Cons throughout Europe. We oftentimes talk about European regulations and how consumer-friendly and consumer-focused Europe is about making sure their consumers get treated properly. And, this is, you can file this into my jealousy bin, Mike? Little read,
If only.
Consumer Group says it's just a short-term fix for a solvable hardware bug. Nintendo has agreed to offer free lifetime repairs of Nintendo Switch controllers experiencing the dreaded Joy-Con drift to consumers across the European Union. The move comes in response to years of organized complaints and a pressure campaign from the European Consumer Organization. In a 2021 report, the organization logged nearly 25,000 complaints from European Switch owners regarding Joy-Con drift, which causes a Switch Joy-Con to register phantom inputs even when it is untouched in a neutral position.
Yeah.
The BEUC's formal complaint cited the Joy-Con hardware for, quote, premature obsolescence. Why am I struggling to say that?
Man.
Oh man. Premature obsolescence, and said it's high time for companies to stop putting products onto the market that break too early. Should we talk about the red ring of death, Mike? Should we talk about it,
Xbox at least fixed that.
True. At least they were good on it,
You just had to mail it all in, and it took for like 2 months.
Right,
Then you get it back and break again, and then they just rebuilt everything and then gave you new stuff. So
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, they were good on it, but like, still, you're out of your Xbox for 2 weeks minimum. It's like,
yeah.
Okay. Nintendo takes great pride in creating high quality and durable products, and it's continuously making improvements to them. The company wrote in a note recently posted on its UK support page. Therefore, and until further notice, Nintendo offers to consumers who purchase a respective product in the European Economic Area, UK, and Switzerland that repairs for responsiveness syndrome related to control sticks will be conducted at no charge by official Nintendo repair centers. This is good news, BEUC Deputy Director General Ursala? I don't know.
It sounds right. Let's just roll with it.
Ursala Pach. Said in a statement Tuesday, it's a tangible win for consumers, many of whom have had to pay for expensive repairs or replacements on a product that would have reasonably expected to last a number of years. I agree.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you buy a piece of tech, especially from a big company like this, you expect it to last,
That's a fact.
I mean, you gotta think about it. If you buy this hardware and the company itself is finding a lot of, or they're having to file a lot of replacements or repairs within the warranty window, you would think at some point they'd be like, what? I mean, I know we're like cutting costs, but like,
do a recall, redo it.
Yeah, like how much more to make sure that this one part doesn't break as consistently, or like this, works. Anyways, I digress. Nintendo started quietly offering similar free out of warranty Joy-Con repairs to North America customers back in 2019 after a string of press accounts noting widespread reports of the problem. The same offer was extended to Latin America and France shortly thereafter. Nintendo's North American warranty only guarantees the Joy-Cons will be free of defects for 12 months after purchase, but an EU law extends the guarantee to 24 months in the region, a warranty term that the BEUC said already covered 88% of all complaints regarding Joy-Con drift, which is wild. It's like in that window, just all like the 2-year window. Yeah, I mean, and they talk about, it's a fixable problem. So despite the European victory, the BEUC said that Nintendo extending its free repair program is only a short-term fix for a wider issue. The group said that it's concerned that Nintendo can still sell the console with a potential bug. Nintendo president, I feel like I should know that name. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it's the president of Nintendo. Yeah.
Shintaro
Furukawa apologized directly for any trouble caused to our consumers by Joy-Con drift issues in a translated 2020 Q&A. In a 2021 Q&A, though, Nintendo Technology Development Division General Manager Ko Shioda said that wear on the Joy-Con analog sticks was unavoidable because of the friction between the housing's moving parts. The degree of wear depends on factors like the combination of materials and forms, So we continue to make improvements by researching which combinations are less likely to wear. So it seems like, they're actively looking into trying to resolve this, but like at the end of the day, it's kind of like just the way they manufacture it and the way the parts actually interact. It's like it's kind of just is what it is right now, which sucks to say, but I don't know. That's
Yeah.
is what I'm seeing, Mike.
Yeah, there's a couple of things with like controllers right now that more and more people are sick and tired of stick drift. So this could pretty much apply to anybody that's ever used the gamepad, not just the Joy-Cons, right? The Joy-Cons have always been an issue since like they released.
Yeah.
People always complain about the stick drift. But the reason why is because they use physical materials to like manipulate sensors on a board. Whereas it's not a digital signal, if that makes sense. It's like input output kind of thing. Um like pulling a lever kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's and anytime you have mechanical movements between a bunch of different products or materials, it degrades over time and it will break. So that's why, for example, the issue that you always see on the Xbox Elite controllers is the paddles always break first because they use a lever that has like a sensor to a button. It's the worst design I've ever seen. Whereas when you have like regular buttons, right? Like your actual buttons won't break
Yeah.
because it's just a push motion going up and down. It's not like multiple different directions and different stress, you know? But the one thing that I wanna mention, and I'm glad that this article actually says it, we just didn't get to it yet, is about magnetic Hall effect sensors that Sega Genesis used to use way back when. And the idea is they got rid of the mechanical aspect. There's still a mechanical aspect because you had to actually like move the joystick mechanically, but the way it was set up was that they would use magnets to center the joystick, and then it basically made it so the wear and tear wasn't on the actual, like, moving parts like it is with the current joysticks that we have to deal with. It's more on the wear and tear of the magnet. It's like magnets last for freaking, like, 100 years or more.
Yeah.
So, it's, like, way more difficult to get those to break. That's why when you play, like, an old Sega controller, if anybody's ever used one, they feel so much different
Yeah.
than, like, current day, like, joysticks. Like, think
Um,
about the N64. That joystick broke so easily off of Mario Party, circling around like, "Come
yeah.
on." You
Yeah.
know?
Very true. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's a couple of, for people that are interested, there are a couple of manufacturers, 8-bit dough, which sounds ridiculous. Is it dough or do? 8-bit do, I think.
I
It's
don't
just
know.
8-bit, like 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, that kind of thing. 8-bit DO. And they're a manufacturer that uses these magnetic sensors that are pretty cool. They also is a Gilly Kit, Guilikit, Gilly Kit, a manufacturer that makes controllers that also work with the Switch. It's like they exist. So if you guys are okay with third-party controllers, they work with PC. I know 8-bit also makes an Xbox version, but it's wired. So I mean, they're solutions. It's just really unfortunate that the ones that come default with a Nintendo product break super easy.
Yeah. No.
But I think it's pretty cool that the EU is like, this isn't cool. You need to fix this. And
Yeah.
on the heels of them rumored to be launching a Switch 2, we'll see, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully they fix it.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the article, too, it says in the U.S., a judge recently threw out a class action lawsuit over the Joy-Con drift issue, citing a Switch EULA that bars such suits. A separate federal lawsuit covering the Switch Lite, which has harder to replace joysticks, for obvious reasons. Similar Washington state lawsuit continuing to work their way through the courts. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you have like a Switch Lite and you have like Joy-Con
Yeah,
issues, you got to take the whole thing in. There's no like,
that's a fact.
you
Yeah.
can't take them off. Like, the whole thing is done. So yeah, that's rough. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. The other thing I want to mention is Gilly Kit actually sells the sensors themselves, like the joysticks, the magnetic joysticks themselves, and they have replacements for the Switch and they have replacements for the Steam Deck. So if you know how to solder and you can remove it confidently, then you can literally
Yeah.
swap them. So
Um,
that's an option for anybody that's like really tech savvy and knows how to work their way around a soldering iron.
yeah.
It's always such a difficult word.
Yeah, I mean,
Soldering iron.
yeah, like yeah, the soldering stuff. I've soldered some stuff before too. It's like A lot of those controllers, it's like very basic. I think for the most part, like you don't need
Yeah.
you don't need like a super hot iron or anything. So yeah, should be relatively straightforward. But also, you avoid warranties, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Because
Thanks for mentioning that. I
yeah,
didn't even think about it.
yeah, just got to be confident at least if you do it. But yeah, and it's possible for most controllers. Um,
Yeah, I'm glad to see that. I mean, the EU is just really out here protecting consumers, man. We're in the wrong country.